Welcome to Monday Football. Another exciting edition lined up for you. If it's Monday, you know sometimes how Mondays can be, but we promise that we're going to have an exciting show lined up for you. My name is Wahiga Mwaura, and next to me is a very talented DJ, Sashi. Her name is very interesting because depending on which part of Kenya you come from, then it may give you a bit of trouble there, but she tells me she has a short set that she'll be playing for us. DJ Sashi, take that away. Of what DJ Sasha can do there. And you know what, maybe later on I might ask her to teach me how to spin a little bit over here. I realize that we've had countless DJs here, but neither Mike, Ndong or I have ever tried to try out these DJ equipment. So I'm going to try that today, and maybe, I don't know if Mike or Ndong will join me on that, but we'll be talking about lots of football as well, lots of celebrations over the weekend in Europe, what's been happening with that. We have all those highlights. But Michael Kini, over to you.
Well, the question for today is, have the wheels come off AFC Leopards? What's happening to Ingwe? At one point in March, they were top of the league. Now, they've dropped to 7th. And the man who predicted the slip is John Kianda, who will be with us here, together with Geoffrey Mwamburi, who is just walking into the studio. But, Kianda, are we slipping further down, AFC Leopards?
It's likely to happen. It is likely to happen. If you can't get points against Muhoroni, and if you keep on losing matches when you're just about to draw, or at least earn a draw. You remember against Tulinzi Stars in the top 8, last minute they scored a winning goal. AFC Leopards out of the top 8. On Saturday in Kisumu, 90th minute, Muhoroni scores. You can't lose games against Muhoroni, you can lose the games against the likes of Western Stima, then expect to win the league. It is tough. I know very well Wahiga Mwaura is my witness here. I said FC Leopards will struggle this season. The struggles have begun, and I know I'm a wanted man by some of the FC Leopards fans, because someone just sent Wahiga when during the FKF election. I told him, ukienda sasa ipatikana kwa stadium atajua kwa nini sisi tuchui, but it was bound to happen.
But funny enough, on Twitter you're getting a lot of support. C. Caleb says he says mismanagement is rampant not only with Ingwe. Then John Gizanga says AFC Leopards jinx is not strange. It's an epidemic that's sweeping Kenyan football left, right and center. Please keep lots of thoughts coming. We shall sample all of them as we move along the show, and we shall put them on the screen. Over to you, Bernard.
Of course, the talking point is AFC Leopards. Have the wheels come off? Indeed, of course, over the weekend they were playing against Muhoroni Youth. Unfortunately, that match was in favor for Muhoroni Youth as they registered the victory, winning 1-0. The lone goal was scored by Benjamin Mosha.
Tries to go on the right side. Then Mosha gets through. Rono carves it back. Mosha, he puts it in the net in grand style as well, with good ball control in the 89th minute. The second half substitute easily takes the ball and unmasked pumps it into the net. Oh, talk about things happening right to the very last moment. The Muhoroni Youth side are in a little bit of a frenzy, celebrating it on the side of the defender.
Well, nothing to complain about. The super sub Mosha coming in a few minutes ago, and what a control.
Well, continuing to observe how this DJing is happening, hoping to pick up a tip or two. But we carry on with football, where Tusker FC continued with their hold at the summit of the Kenyan Premier League standings with a slim 1-0 victory over Sofapaka.
An opportunity in front of goal, and that one finds the net. Tusker finally breaks their deadlock, and it's Tony Ndolo linking up well with Michael Hamati. That goal opens Tuska's account finally after 68 minutes of play. Anthony Ndolo gives Tuska the first goal. The assist coming in from Michael Hamati.
Francis Kahata scored the only goal in the match between Gor Mahia FC and Western Steam as they headed home. The winning goal to help Gor Mahia, of course, edge their hosts in Kisumu.
It's becoming a very vulnerable time. Gor Mahia put it in the net. And it is Francis Kahata who will be celebrating. Well, they crumble under the pressure. And the celebration is massive. Get the goal. Here it is, rising high up. Francis Kahata soars above everybody else. It's the most brilliant header he has ever taken, in my opinion. And it's the most...
Elsewhere, at the Afraha Stadium, Ulinzi Stars hammered City Stars 3-0 with all 3 goals being scored in the second half after a goalless first half. Now, Eno Shochieng scored the opener in the 54th minute and inspired the second by John Naruka 8 minutes later, and John Makwata put the match beyond reach. Let's take that one more time at the Afraha Stadium. Ulinzi Stars hammered City Stars 3-0 with all 3 goals being scored in the second half after a goalless first half. Enosho Chieng scored the opener in the 54th minute and inspired the second by John Nairuka 8 minutes later. And of course, John Makwata put the match beyond reach with the third after 71 minutes. Well, we move on to other stories that made headlines over the weekend. And Kenya has invited Spain-based Ismael Gonzalez and contacted Bruce Kamau in Australia ahead of Harambee Stars friendly set for later this month. The Stars will face Sudan on the 27th of this month if one of 2 friendlies ahead of their AFCON qualifier against Congo in June. Kenya will face Tanzania 2 days later in an international friendly a week before the qualifier. On the 27th of May, the Sudan match will be preceded by a tie pitting the under-20 teams from both countries.
Well, your reactions coming in at Remy Ocheng says AFC are heading for a fall after such deteriorating performances against mid-table clubs. Tusker and Gor Mahia in form. And then Peter Murunga says big up DJ. So many tweets coming in about the DJ. John Josiah says we as Gor Mahia are coming to our position. I love this show as always. Thank you very much, John. The other one is from Odero. Joel says not surprised at all, but the recent performances of AFC Leopards because they are the Kenyan Arsenal. Wow. And the last one is from Tony says Kenya, bad results comes from a poor management. It's high time AFC Leopards restructure its management from top to bottom. Mamburi. Clips. Nini asumbue AFC?
AFC Leopards bwana Kenya naweza kusema kwamba wana masaibu chungu mbovu ama chungu zima kwa sababu ni hivi majuzi tu ambapo kocha Jackie Ivan Minnet alikuwa analalamika akiwaambia kwamba atagura klabu hiyo endapo matakwa yake ya usajili katika dirisha lile ambalo litakuwa lijalo hayataweza kuheshimiwa. Kwa hivyo ukiangalia ni kwamba kwanza kuna mgogoro, kuna mzozo, kuna hali ya sintofahamu katika kile kikosi. Maana kulikuwa na zile tetesi ama zile hatiati ya kwamba anataka kuleta wale wachezaji wa zamani, wachezaji kama kina Musa Mude, wachezaji kama kina Martin Mbalambala anataka kuwaleta katika timu. Sasa siasa kwanza zimeweza kukumba timu hiyo. Kocha sasa hivi bado hajatulia katika akili. Hajajua ya kwamba endapo matakwa yake ataweza kuzingatiwa. Alafu kuna jambo moja ambalo Ukenya, maana kama kocha lazima uweze kufanya usajili, lazima uweze kuja na mbinu zake. Amepata kikosi kimeweza kupikwa na yule kocha ambaye kwamba aliweza kumtangulia. Kwa hivyo kama kocha anafaa afanye mikakati, ajue ni wachezaji gani kwamba watakuwa na wasajili. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio jambo moja ambalo kwamba linawasumbua timu ya AFC Leopards. Alafu kuna jambo lingine, wakati ambapo udhamini SportPesa waliweza kuna wakati walijiondoa kati ya AFC Leopards na Gor Mahia. Nafikiri huo ndio ulikuwa wakati mzuri sana waweze kujimudu na kuona kwamba
wanacheza vizuri katika ligi, lakini bado matokeo yanazidi kudorora. Kwa hivyo siasa naweza sema kwamba katika timu, manake kama na wachezaji walifanya usajili mzuri sana, na wachezaji nafikiri kwamba kocha ni mzuri, Jackie Ivan Minnaert ni kocha mzuri, kocha ambaye ana uwezo. Kwa hivyo nafikiri tu ni kuweka nyumba yao vizuri ili iweze kuandikisha matokeo ya kufana.
Kianda, on the same note of AFC Leopards, they say, Mamburi saying, talking about the team being already established. With the same players, he achieved top of the table and stayed there for a while. What has happened between that time being at the top of the table and right now that AFC Leopards is 7th and moving further back?
I call it top players. Liga wanazibanga ina wenyewe. Lydia she's one of the creative she works with the creative department of Royal Media. She always tells me tukikutana kwa corridor, Kianda ligi na wenyewe, unbeaten ina wenyewe. This was bound to happen. Look at who is top of the table, the Kenya Premier at the moment. Tusker FC. Look at the quality of player they got. Look at the coach they had. It was just a matter of time for them to adjust. Then they get back their win way. Yes, they have a poor home. Their home record is not that good because of the number of points they have got. I think it's the only team that has gotten more points while playing away from home compared to the rest. But at least they are winning. Even if they struggle against Sofapaka on Saturday, at least they are winning. They're getting those wins. Look at Ulinzi Stars. They have a good squad. They kept majority of the players last season, and what Matano was doing was just introducing these youngsters in the team, and they started gelling, and you can see the results coming out. Madara United, they brought back 2 of the legends in that team. That is Francis Kimanzi and Salim Ali. They listen to those guys. It's just like the way Real Madrid brought in Zinedine Zidane. When he speaks, you listen, because he has achieved a couple of titles with Madara United. They listen to him. That is where they thrive, some of these coaches. So according to me, AFC Leopards, from the word go, they signed players from a desperate point of view. They had no sponsor, so there's no top player who people attract in that team. And whoever they attracted, yes, they got a sponsor, but you can have Miheso, you can have Kefa Swani there, but the rest, somehow itafika tu wakati hiyo ijele itakuwa wao watavuruta sana, nao wengine watarudisha chini sana. So what is happening is nguvu ya kuvuruta imefika mahali imeanza kuchoka, sasa ni kurudi chini.
Mamburi, the top teams ambazo ziko kwenye ligi saizi, AFC hawajapoteza katika hizo timu, mechi zao na hizo timu. Hawajafungwa na Tusker, hawajafungwa na Gor Mahia, hawajafungwa na Mathare, hawajafungwa na Posta. Inakuwaje basi tunasema hawana wale wachezaji ambao wanaweza wakainua ile timu? Lakini inaonekana kwamba zile timu ambazo ziko juu hazijawafunga.
Ndio, na nafikiri kidogo Kianda jinsi ambavyo alivyokuwa anazungumza, najaribu kuenda kinyume na maneno yake, maana alisema kwamba ni timu ambayo kwamba haikuwa na mdhamini, lakini angalia Gor Mahia ilikuwa katika hali shwari tu, haikuwa na mdhamini vile vile pia, lakini sasa hivi wamejimudu katika nafasi ya 3. Wameweza kucheza ndio, na ukiangalia timu ambazo kwamba nazungumzia viongozi Tusker, zungumzia Madara United, zungumzia timu kama vile Ulinzi ambayo katika nafasi ya 4. Nafikiri kwao kitu ambacho kwamba naweza kuzungumzia ni upinzani, kwa sababu timu ambayo kwamba maana najua kwamba ni timu ambayo kwamba ina wachezaji wazuri, wachezaji kama timu kama Madara United iko chini ya udhamini mzuri. Kwa hivyo kuna tofauti ya kucheza, maana wakicheza nazo timu wanajua kwamba ni timu kali. Kwa hivyo hapa lazima tuweze kucheza vizuri, lakini kucheza dhidi ya Moroni, nafikiri kwangu mimi vile vile pia kuna swala la kudharau timu. Maana unaangalia Moroni ni timu ambayo kwamba sasa hivi iko katika nafasi si nzuri, haiko katika nafasi zile za 5 za kwanza. Kwa hivyo kuna swala la dharau, lakini ukicheza dhidi ya Tusker unajua kwamba hawa washawahi kuwa mabingwa wa hii ligi. Kwa hivyo la kufanya hapa ni kucheza, kujitolea, kuona kwamba tunafunga, lakini cha muhimu nafikiri ni kuweza kuchukulia kila mechi. Kocha anafaa kuchukulia kila mechi na umuhimu wake, si eti anaona kwamba anacheza dhidi ya timu ya Madara United. Kwa hivyo hapa ndo nafaa kuweka mkazo zaidi, nikikutana dhidi ya Western Stima sifai kuweka mkazo. Kwa hivyo nafikiri ni taasubi tu ambayo inafaa kubadilishwa.
Let me correct Mumburi on something. I beg to differ them kidogo. Gor Mahia have won the last titles without a sponsor. So to them, sponsor ni added value too, but they can still win matches. Fan base ya Gor Mahia turn out in large numbers. Look at what happened in Kisumu yesterday. FC walianza poa, karudisha mafans kwa uwanja. Look at Tusker, the way they were playing. They against Sofapaka, kilikuwa kimeumana. Look at their bench. Unajua nafika wakati is not the first 11 that you have. Sasa look at your bench. FC Leopards bench yao haikuwa strong.
Gor Mahia yesterday, what worked for them is the bench.
It's the bench.
Agwanda and Kahata.
And Tusker FC Saturday, Timona and Kamati.
Yes.
That is what happens. Strength your team is not just in the first 11. It's all round. It's from the bench too. So FC Leopards ukiangalia, they have the best first 11. Okay, good. They can work. But now wakati kimeumana, who will come from the bench to win? That's why during this transfer window, yes, as Mwamburi has said, the head coach for FC Leopards, Ivan, said that there are people who want to control this transfer window in June, and that's why he's threatening to quit if anyone is going to interfere with that. Look at what Gor Mahia are doing. I've just spoken to the chairman for Gor Mahia a few minutes ago, and he said he spoke to Medi Kagere on Friday. He wants 2 strikers in his team because they've realized not that other strikers who are there are not good, but he just want to sharpen their striking force. Because ukiangalia department hizo zote za Gor, they are functioning. Ziko poa. So you just need 2 key players, 2 strikers who are going to sharpen your attack.
So what happened on Saturday in that game between AFC Leopards and Moro? Because I thought in the last 4 matches, FC have been lethargic. They've not looked like a team that wants to win. And they went into that game, I mean, even from the first whistle, you could see they were lucky to escape with a 0-0 at halftime.
Gas ilisha. At some point ilisha. Same bench, same first 11. This guy has been playing for quite some time. Then you don't have quality substitutes who will come in and turn the game around. Remember, at some point, if I give an example in the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona ilisha, Gasi ilipunguka. That's why Real Madrid had to close in until 1 point. So this transfer window is a very crucial window for FC Leopards. But to be realistic, the best they can do for their club and their fans is just to finish in the top 5. But at the moment, you look at who is in the top positions. Tusk FC, also have Madara United, Gor Mahia is there. They have Ulinzi Stars and Posta Rangers. Kutoa hizi timu hapo baba, itabidi kuena ufanye signings. Then another mistake that might happen because of the politics in that club. Utapata wananunua the whole team. Wanafukuza half of the team, wananunua the whole team. Another new team. Like you said, FC Leopards may change first 11 marangapi.
Like since 2008, every 6 months, every mid-season, they bring in new players. So that is at the end of the season, wanafukuza.
That is something that doesn't need to happen.
Athari zake nini Mwamburi?
Alivyosema Kianda, nafikiri usajili ndio ambao unahitajika kwa timu ya FC Leopards, kwa sababu kuna wachezaji wengi pale ambao unahisi ni nafasi yao muhimu sasa hivi waweze angalau kupumzika. Kwa hivyo hili dirisha ambalo kwamba linakuja la uhamisho walitumia vizuri kuweza kufanya usajili wao. FC Leopards Mike bwana ni timu kubwa, ni timu ambayo kwamba sasa hivi kiandikisha matokeo ya kushangaza, nafikiri wengi wanaishangaa. Ni timu ambayo kwamba ina mashabiki wengi. Sasa hivi hata ukiangalia kila kiwango cha mashabiki ambao kwamba wanajitokeza uwanjani kidogo kinapungua. Na kwa sababu gani kinapungua? Kwa sababu hawajapata ile motivation. Kwa hivyo wanahitaji kuweza kushinda mechi zao ili mashabiki vile vile pia waweze kuunga mkono. Lakini nina imani ya kwamba endapo masuala kocha apatiwe nafasi aweze kufanya kazi yake, kusiwe na mwingiliano katika timu, jinsi ambavyo juzi kocha wa timu ya rais wa shirikisho la soka FKF ni Kimondo aliweza kusema kwamba hataweka mkono katika uteuzi wa timu ambayo kwamba itacheza dhidi ya Kongo. Iwe vile vile pia kwa kocha aweze kupatiwa nafasi. Kama anahisi kwamba kuna mabadiliko, kama anahisi kwamba kuna wachezaji 9 ambao wanaoleta, kwa nini mwingine akuje aseme kwamba hamna wachezaji 9 waweze kuingia katika timu na masuala kama haya? Alafu vile pia Mike, sijui kwa nini hutaki kuzungumzia timu yangu ya Bandari inadorora.
Bandari ni kesi nyingine tofauti.
You know, this world of football at the moment haina respect to history. Haina respect. Look at Newcastle. Wako wapi sasa? Ndio walipiga Tottenham 5, wanaenda chini. Aston Villa, the team that has produced most of the youngsters kwa EPL, the best academy kwa EPL, wameenda relegation. The current football world haina huruma ati history. Hata Real Madrid yenyewe na history kubwa kwa La Liga, iko na history kubwa kwa Champions League. Ikifanya mchezo inajua tutaenda. That's why they keep signing all these top players. So I understand the FC Leopards problem started when the season started. They didn't have a sponsor. That is something.
Yeah, but
the only thing that
we
they did their best.
Yes.
But during this transfer window, kuna stories za Kiogera kwenda huko, kuna stories za Peter Opio. They have to be very careful with the way they'll handle this transfer window.
But on the same transfer, you're saying that there's a lot of mvutano kati ya the powers that be and the coach. Who does the coach want? Who are these powers that be and who do they want?
We'll start mentioning names here. We might not walk out of this gate.
No, I understand there's an issue about technical. Is still the technical director?
Yeah, technical.
Mr. Wanyama.
Anataka
Wanyama wants his boys in the team.
In the team. Ivan Maneta has already identified who he wants to sign the team.
And these Wanyama boys are not anywhere near there.
Yeah. So if you want to save the club, put politics aside. FC will be there. it's a big name, as Bomburi said. But if you play around the politics, utajikuta huko Nairobi City Stars na Sofapaka iko. Who knew Sofapaka 2009 champions, the first team kuja Kenya Premier League na kushinda title, watakuwa wanachezea ligi huko chini.
Na Mike, hicho ni kitu ambacho kwamba Gor Mahia wanakifanya, kwa sababu nakumbuka nikizungumza na bwana Ronald Ngala ambaye ni mmoja wapo maafisa, aliweza kusema kwamba kitu ambacho kwamba tulifanyia Maria alipoweza kufika, tulimwambia kwamba uchukua timu mweza kuipata, ilikuwa ina dorora, ameweza kuitoa timu mbali, na akasema kwamba kitu ambacho kwamba wakinafanya timu iweze kusonga mbele ni kocha aweze kupata nafasi. Kwa hivyo kianda anavyosema, najaribu kutilia shime kusema ya kwamba masuala ya mvutano katika timu hayasaidii lolote. Hiyo ni kuweza kuangusha timu, wafanye kama jinsi Gor Mahia wanavyofanya sasa hivi katika nafasi ya 3, timu ambayo kwamba ilikuwa ikiselelea katika nafasi ya 9, katika nafasi ya 8, lakini nani alijua kwamba watajivuta, na sikudanganyi Tusker mali lipo sasa hivi, jichunge kwa sababu Kogalo inakuja.
And Gor Mahia just pulling a Juventus. That's what I said on Kijiweni this morning. Juventus October, November, they were number 12. By the time it reached May, they were winning the Serie A. Look at where Gor Mahia were when the season started. They play like champions, like Shitera will want to say. Arsenal doesn't play like champions. Yes, other teams play like champions. But for me, politics aside, save FC Leopards.
Well, in the second part of the interview, we'll come back and talk about Bandari yako, Mwamburi. Lazima tuongee story ya Bandari. Serum Kuma ikiwa Gor Mahia alikuwa Wembe, ameingia Bandari imekuwa ni kitu kingine. Inasemekana kwamba watu wa Bandari, watu wa Pwani hawataki wachezaji wa bara. We will get back to that story when we come back from the break, but now, Bernard, take us to the break.
Well, of course, Michael, can you remember earlier on we had interacted with our DJ, our guest DJ this afternoon, DJ Sashi. Of course, first of all, I'm interested in finding out what her names on the national identity card are. What is your name?
I'm Sarah Wanjiru.
Sarah Wanjiru.
Yeah, Sashi came from Sarah Shiro.
Sarah Shiro.
and she.
So
Yeah.
Sashi.
Yes.
So that is your name.
Yeah.
So kituma any mobile money transaction in itaonekana.
Yeah, Sarah Wanjiru to it.
Sashi.
Yeah.
Your passion for the decks, where did it start? Where did your journey begin?
My journey began 2012.
2012.
Yeah, now this is the 4th year. Yeah, actually to me, DJing is a dream come true.
It's a dream come true.
Yes.
What made you? What was that catalyst? What made you think that you're better placed on the decks?
I wanted to be a DJ ever since I was a kid.
Yes.
But now, you know, parents with DJ
The perception.
After school, so I was told, nah, you can do this. So I had to wait until I got my own money and had to go to an academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you convince them? How did you convince your parents that?
Actually, I didn't actually even tell them. I didn't even tell them because by then I moved to Mombasa.
Yes.
So my family is here. So I was a DJ there. They didn't know what I was doing. They knew I went there to do beauty, so I was doing both.
Okay.
I was doing beauty daytime, and then at night I was doing a DJ. I was doing a DJ. So they didn't know. They actually saw me one time at Pulse.
Okay.
They were like, "How did you?"
Your secret was out.
Yeah.
You're in the Monday Football Show. Of course, the one question you always ask, like, yes, DJs, do you love the beautiful game? If you love the beautiful game, which team do you support?
I'm not a fan of football, but I'll say Brazil. I support.
At least I will forgive you.
Yeah.
Why Brazil? Why the Seleção? Why not Kenya's Harambee Stars?
Harambee Stars, they always disappoint.
Yes.
So I don't like.
But it should be with the team through thick and thin.
I know. I think they should pull up their socks.
Pull up their socks.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, earlier on we had some of your mix, your playlists, an East African kind of feel. We'll be taking a break in just a moment. Just let us get a sample of what to expect in the course of the rest of the show. We take a break for now. Monday Football will be back with much more after this nice and interesting interlude by DJ Sashi.
For me, I will give all the praise to him. He got me going. Girl, I am for real, yeah. I'll say you know the deal. Oh my baby, I am for real, yeah. Oh baby, I am for real. For your loving girl, I am for real, yeah. I hope that you know the deal.
Well, welcome back. We took a short break there, just like any football match. We're back for the next 45 minutes. And before we take a look at how the leagues were over the weekend, especially in Europe, some quick breaking news here. The provisional England national team squad has been named 26-man team that will go into camp, of course, under Roy Hodgson. And the interesting report there is that 18-year-old Marcus Rashford has been called up to that squad. You remember when Louis van Gaal called him up to play for Manchester United, many making jokes that should he be doing his homework or playing football, but he's proven that he can actually do both, and for that he's gotten called up to the English national team. Those are some of the stories we'll be having for you even as the bulletin continues. But for now, let's take a look at the tables of the various leagues across Europe. First things first, and they'll be popping up on the screen shortly. We begin with the England one, where of course we've got Leicester at the very top, 81 points. Arsenal there with 71. Tottenham, Manchester City. Now, Arsenal one, interesting, finished in second. Their fans are excited. In fact, they're calling themselves a treble because they not only finished in second, qualified for Champions League, but there's something else there. So for them, that's a treble, even though there's no actual trophy. And I know John Kianda can weigh in on that. We've got Tottenham, Manchester City, Southampton, and Manchester United at the very bottom. A quick comment maybe from John Kianda about the way the league actually ended or is about to end, because you know Man U has one more game tomorrow.
Manchester United versus Bournemouth. Haina impact yote.
Unless they score 19 goals.
Second is because of the pride of London.
Okay.
But look at who is top of the table.
Yes.
Leicester City. Najua cycle itakuja after 20 years, but looking at the way Chelsea next season wako involved kwa European football, Man United will want to strengthen City with Pep Guardiola in.
That's right.
Maybe Wenger signing a new 3-year deal to stay at the Emirates. Troubles in Endelea.
For me, I think the standard point, Leicester 10 points clear at the top. That's amazing.
10 points clear, Wahiga, but only 2 players from Leicester in that squad that has been named by Roy Hodgson. And they might drop one because the man who was pulling the strings at the middle, that is Danny Drinkwater.
Yes.
Makes a 26-man squad, as well as Jamie Vardy.
Okay.
They make the squad. So if you take out those two, then it's a little bit tricky. The strikers for England, it looks pretty interesting on paper, but when it comes to performance, Wayne Rooney, Manchester United, Harry Kane, Tottenham, Jamie Vardy, Leicester, Danny Sturridge, Liverpool, and Marcus Rashford, Manchester United. I'm not so sure about Marcus Rashford and Wayne Rooney, but I think that attack should be led by Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy. Sturridge it depends on which side of the bed he wakes up with. He's an Arsenal type of a player. He can choose to be selfish.
That's right. Thank you.
But jokes is out to Arsenal. How do you feel when a team is top of the table na mlichapa home and away?
Yes.
Achana na hizo jokes watu wa Man U.
Let's take a look at some of the other leagues as well. I believe we cross over to Spain. I think we'll see what's coming up shortly. There we go. That's right. Barcelona 91. Real Madrid 90, Atletico Madrid 88, of course Villarreal, Atletico Bilbao, and Celta de Vigo. Michael Keane and many Real fans across the world shed a collective tear because they believed that they could get that title. But of course, congratulations to Barcelona, their manager, the whole team. Second title in a row, I believe, and of course their 24th title overall. Mike, any comments from you?
Real Madrid still 32 titles.
Real Madrid 32 titles?
Yes, going for La Decima +1.
So Barcelona
on the 28th. They have a long way to catch up. Unless they keep Luis Suarez. And Suarez, we know dawa yake next season.
Suarez, for me, I call him the beast. Everywhere, if you put him in AFC Leopards, whatever you put Luis Suarez, he performs beyond expectation.
And the joke of the century will be they will have nominees for Ballon d'Or. Suarez will not be there in the final 3.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
If they took the Champions League, then yes. Ballon d'Or is not just about your country.
Although they're going for a double, they've got this weekend.
Which team are they playing? That Nyoro team, they will just forgive.
They are in the Copa del Rey final. Yes. But you know, Mike doesn't want to accept one thing.
Which is?
Barca won the title, and the Pichichi, the only trophy they had a realistic chance of winning, that is the top scorer's award.
Yes.
And the Spanish La Liga, PLN.
What's to go to 28?
Let's leave that matter for now. I can see arguments
final
in the studio coming up. Let's go on to the next table. Of course, just what happened in Europe over the weekend as the leagues basically came to a close. Serie A, you've got Juventus there, Napoli, Roma, Inter, and of course Fiorentina as well. Those are the Serie A standings. Any comments, gentlemen? Anything that stood out for you in Serie A?
Yes. What is the name of that guy? This striker who left Real Madrid?
Alvaro Morata.
No, Wachana Morata. There is the other one, the top scorer. Higuain.
Dong has been shouting that.
I've been shouting to you, Mike.
1 minute, you're whispering. No, you shout.
I have a tenor. It's a tenor.
Higuain.
He's a gentleman. Gentlemen don't shout.
Higuain. No, it's only DJ who's hearing what he's saying.
Maybe that's intentional.
What about Higuain?
So that was the standout player for the
Higuain, I mean, breaking that record and banging in the goals. I mean, he's a player worth his salt. He just decided, I mean, I will go to any league, I will put in the goals. Maybe that's a type of striker that Arsene Wenger should look at. Not like in a World Cup, they just run after the ball behind.
I'll go with Dybala, Juventus.
Yes,
striker. That young man is the next big thing.
And many had underrated him.
Yeah, Dybala is a great player.
He has shown.
We don't want to mention about the likes of Paul Pogba, who is this, Morata. They've already shown what they can do. But Dybala, according to me,
stand out.
The next big.
Good. We need to take a look at actually how some of those celebrations were done. So let's just quickly take a look at the final one before we tell you what happened this weekend, especially in Manchester United. Bundesliga, as expected. Is it a 4th year in a row now? Bayern Munich lead or taking the title again. Of course, they say goodbye to their manager, Borussia Dortmund, and then Bayer, and then there's a team there who's just Borussia M is what I prefer to call them.
Gladbach.
I want to hear everyone's version. Borussia. Director, let's just hear everyone's version in this studio. Let's start with Michael Kinyi.
Mönchengladbach.
Mönchengladbach. Thank you. John Kianda?
Same.
Alright, he says same. Okay, let's take a look at what happened over the weekend in Manchester, because a private firm apparently accidentally left a device at Old Trafford, and that was just before the match, prompting the cancellation of this particular match between the hosts and Bournemouth. Bomb disposal experts were called to the 75,000-seater stadium after the replica device was found in a toilet. A controlled explosion was carried out on the device. With the game set to be played tomorrow night, Manchester United will refund all tickets and all ticket holders from both clubs to watch the rescheduled match tomorrow for free. Let's take a look at what happened with that particular match as well that took place this weekend. Remember, the match has been postponed. It's taking place tomorrow in the evening, and what Manchester United have done, they've actually agreed to refund the ticket costs in terms of what you spent on tickets to all the fans who attended that particular game, and they say that you can watch the match for free. So if you're a Man U fan, you went for the match and you didn't get a chance to watch, go and get your refund, and you can enjoy tomorrow's match as well. Here is what happened over the weekend.
Old Trafford's a bomb site. 3-1. It's not these got back. There'll be a corner around the stadium.
Well, of course, Wahiga Mora just showed you the permutations as far as the English Premier League is concerned, the Spanish La Liga is concerned. But for the Manchester City match, they were playing against Swansea and they drew 1-1, essentially ensuring that the blue side of Manchester have qualified for the Champions League next season. They finished 4th as the season climaxed over the weekend.
And then it ricochets in. Ian Adshaw with the touch. But the flag is up and it won't stand. It took a while for Manchester City to realise. Well, there's confusion here.
Well, I think there's one good thing about...
Dummy there from Fur, and the deflection is in. It'll be Andre Ayew's goal, but it took a huge deflection off the wall. Joe Hart.
And Chelsea, last season's champions, they finished 10th on the log, drawing 1-1 with this season's champions, that's Leicester, in the final match of the season.
Fabregas makes no mistake, sends Kasper Schmeichel the wrong way. And the old order takes the lead. Chelsea 1, Leicester 0. It's a very composed penalty, but from open play, Chelsea just couldn't... we can take this journey. Drinkwater. Oh, it's special! All season, Leicester City have found an answer. They've found a way to do it. And Danny Drinkwater's blood from range here at Stamford Bridge, levels it up. Well, it's a sensational strike.
Well, we head on to Spain and we dedicate this particular story to Mike O'Keefe because Barcelona finished the season in style, defending the Spanish La Liga title with an emphatic 3-0 hammering of Granada as Luis Suarez scored a hat-trick. The Uruguayan also clinched the Golden Boot. Remember, John Kianda just touched on it earlier on, and that is the Pichichi after he scored 40 goals.
Alves did well to keep it in, the goalkeeper stopped, and he has paid the price. Was serving a ban when he first signed for the club. There's Neymar. Suarez! Somebody find the engraver. Barcelona's name is on the trophy yet again. Come the starting 11 for years to come. They're legends. They had to put absolutely everything in. It was taken to the wire. But Barcelona on the final day have done it again. The champions of Spain on the 24th occasion, 6 out of 8 years. They had a spring blip, but come the middle of May, their class hold.
Well, that's what happened on the field, and those celebrations carried out onto the streets where fans of Barcelona flooded the city streets to celebrate their 24th league title achieved through Saturday's 3-0 win over Granada. The fans stand up perfectly dressed for the special day, draped in scarves, flags, jerseys, turning the sea, or the city rather, into a sea of the club's colors.
Real's title chase fell short despite a 2-0 victory over Deportivo La Coruña in the season ender.
Breezes past Manuel Pablo, it's good from Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo! 50 up to the 6th successive season. 50 or more. Close for the corner. Oh, and a deflection and in! Cristiano Ronaldo will claim it. His header was on target, took a deflection.
We continue with the celebrations that happened in Europe, and Bayern Munich's fans celebrated sealing the 4th Bundesliga title in a row in style as they partied in central Munich in true German fashion. Well, our last story is about the celebrations of PSG over the weekend as they took their title. But more importantly, it's about one man, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, 34 years old, calls himself a king, calls himself many different things, iconic, and just the way he performed over the weekend, scored in the final match before his retirement, but then went on to not only allow his children onto the field, he hugged them and then walked off without being substituted. He doesn't wait for the coach to tell him you can leave now. He just walked off with his children. And Zlatan, sorry. And we will be taking a look at that.
It's interesting, Wahiga, you see the two jerseys where his kids are on the emblazoned at the back there. He said that when he joined PSG, he joined it as a king, and he left PSG as a legend. So it's very symbolic.
And you can see that he's just about to leave PSG as a legend. Didn't wait for anyone, just walked out with the band on his hand. He even almost forgot to give it back to somebody else who's in play. You should have been yellow. You cannot yellow card a man who you're almost begging to stay.
That is Zlatan for you, Mike. It's interesting. Remember Mike earlier on in the season when I don't know what happened. I think it was a French league match, and he was very unhappy. And immediately after, he said he was so tired with France. He said he wanted to leave. And interestingly, he stuck on, soldiered on, and ensured that PSG are still the champions of France.
Still, he hasn't won the Champions League. United want to sign him. LA Galaxy want to sign him.
You will go play in the States.
Chinese clubs are interested in signing him. So, if Mourinho joins Manchester United, he could sign him. That is the deal.
He's going to the retirement league. That is the US.
MLS or Chinese.
Some reactions on Twitter on the FC Leopards story. This is Sami Chepnakitare says, I met FC Leopards at Nakuru on their way to Moroni, taking junk and looking aimless. That's why they looked so tired. That is Sam Chepnakitare. Opal Albert said, we as Gor Mahia, we shall deal with Mathare basically and go to the top of the table. That is his only opinion. Jeremiah Magoma says, we are slowly getting there. Let's keep hope alive. That's about FC Leopards. Matthias Ndeta says, Ingwe with a hurriedly done squad plus no depth, so at some point they were bound to go blunt. Then there's Walter Onyino says, no, this is not a tweet from Walter Onyino. I think it's somebody else. It's a retweet. And he says that John O'Haga and his cockiness plus the brigade in the name of IMC. The problem with AFC Leopards is John O'Haga and his cockiness plus his brigade of the name of IMC. Without that IMC, AFC Leopards would be nowhere because the Wrangles will still be there. IMC is the team that is running AFC Leopards at the moment because they don't have a team that is elected and they're supposed to do their elections anytime soon. What is the latest on the elections?
I'm not sure about it. Maybe we'll speak to Dan Mule after this show, but I'm praying that there will be no running, there will be no fight. Let them just campaign smoothly. Keen to know if the 1.2 million shillings will return, because apparently there's someone who took that amount of money when there was an issue between Betway and the FC Leopards and Sportpesa.
Whose money was it?
Ilikuwa Betway, ampatie FC. Huyo mtu alipewa alitoa akatoa hii ya Sportpesa account akarudisha huko. So we are keen to know of such development, but they need to elect leaders with integrity.
Well, that last tweet was by Victor Milimu. Victor Milimu, very good ardent AFC Leopards supporter, and he said the problem with AFC Leopards is John O'Haga and his cockiness plus his brigade in the name of IMC. IMC and John O'Haga, the reason why AFC Leopards are existing and surviving right now. Well, Mumburi, Bandari, kikosi kina wachezaji si wachezaji. Anza mbele, Dan Serunkuma, Lavasa, katikati muko na Mude, muko na Abdulatif Omar huko nyuma, muko na Player of the Month mwezi uliopita Sharif Mohamed, muko na mwingine nani namsahau, muko na Shaban Kenga katikati, muko na Shaban Kenga kwenye wing, muko na Edwin Wafula kule nyuma, muko na goalkeeper ambaye anastahili kuwa kwenye Harambee Stars,
kipa wa kimataifa
Obungu, lakini namba 12 jamaa, pointi 14.
Mike, nafikiri kuna shida na soka ya Pwani kwa sababu si Bandari pekee yake. Angalia Modern Coast Rangers katika ligi ya Super iko mkiani sasa hivi. Nilishaimsikia kocha wa Bandari ambaye ni Tahir Muhidin. Kuna wakati fulani tulikuwa tunamhoji baada ya moja wapo ya mechi, akajisifu sana, akasema kwamba shawahi chukua ligi akiwa na Serie A, shawahi chukua ligi, alitaja timu, alitoa wasifu wake pale, akasema kwamba yeye ni kocha ambaye ni mfanisi. Alafu tukamuuliza kwamba kocha, sasa hivi timu inadidimia katika ligi, kitu gani ambacho kwamba kimekosekana? Akasema kwamba yeye ana wasiwasi wote. Mimi nafikiri ya kwamba msimu huu si wa Bandari, msimu huu si wa Bandari. Alafu jambo lingine ni kwamba walipotolewa katika ile michuano ya CAF kidogo walinyoya, hawakutaka kutia bidii na kutia ile Waswahili wanasema idili ya kuweza kufukuzia mashindano. Nataka kumzungumzia Dani Serenkuma ambaye kwamba umemtaja. Juzi nilikuwa nazungumza na Donald Mosoti ambaye ashawahi kuchezea Simba, ambaye ni timu ambayo kwamba Serenkuma vile vile pia ashaicheza. Mosoti aliniambia kwamba kuna uchawi mwingi sana kule Tanzania. Anasema kwamba watu wanapiga mburuga, watu wanafanya vile vituko kabla ya kwenda katika mechi. Kwa hivyo huwezi jua kitu gani ambacho Dani Serenkuma alifanywa kule.
Mbona Mosoti mwenyewe yocheza vizuri na Serenkuma hachezi vizuri Bandari?
Hata Ramasali anang'ara mali ya Liga. I think Slovakia ndio anang'ara. Kuna mabomo ile I think last week. Look at Blackberry, alienda karudi anang'ara. Haya, Dan Serenkuma vile alitoka Gor Mahia akaenda karudi,
lakini kianda lakini wakati mwingine utendeka. Angalia Pedro Rodriguez
alipotoka Barcelona. Ndumba watu wa Simba waroge Bandari kwa nini? They don't compete in any.
Hawezi roga Bandari,
labda wako pamoja. Hakuna haja. Ingekuwa ni Yanga nini hapo ungesema, but for now let's just spread the facts. Huyu jamaa alitoa players ambao walikufa naye last season, a good number of them wakishinda Go TV shi, akachuja akaenda kuleta the so called wabara kwenye timu.
Wachezaji wabaya, wachezaji wazuri.
Swali la mwisho, division in swali la mwisho ndio wachezaji wa bara. Maana mashabiki wa Bandari wanasema wanalia na wajina wachezaji wa bara. Sema wachezaji wa bara hawana roho ya Bandari.
Unajua Okenye nafikiri niseme kwamba ni kasumba ama tasubi ambayo ipo katika mashabiki wa Pwani. Watu wa Pwani wanapenda sana vitu vyao. Hata ukiwachunguza vizuri, yani wanapenda sana watangamane kivyao. Kwa hivyo hilo swali lipo, na nakumbuka wakati fulani nilikuwa nafuatilia mechi moja ya Bandari katika uwanja wa Nyayo, na mashabiki wakawa wanasema jambo hilo. Kwa hivyo hilo ni jambo ambalo kwamba ni vigumu sana kuweza kulitoa katika Pwani, lakini sasa haitasaidia kwa sababu kama wa Pwani sisi wenyewe kama wachezaji kina Shaban Kenga tuko nao, kina Abdulatif, wale ni wachezaji wa Pwani, kama hawataleta nati katika timu, tunahitaji wachezaji wa bara. Na ukiangalia ni kwamba si klabu vile vile pia ya Pwani pekee yake inacheza katika ligi ili kuleta ushindani katika ligi ya KPL, lazima tuweze kuhitaji wachezaji wa bara. Kwa hivyo hata watalamika kina namna gani, mimi nahisi ya kwamba wachezaji wa bara wanahitajika katika ile timu.
You know, this is how they define wachezaji wa bara na wa Pwani. Anochomo who has grown in Mombasa. Yes. Ni Ochomo lakini amegrow ya Mombasa. Huyo ni mchezaji wa bara, huyo ni Mombasa. Huyo ni wa Mombasa.
Huyo ni wa Pwani.
Huyo ni wa Pwani. Yes. Mangoli mwenye amegrow ya Coast. Ule ni wa Pwani. Hawana shida na hiyo. Ochomo ni Mpwani lakini anacheza.
Tatizo ni kwamba yani wachezaji ambao kwamba hawajakulia
wachezaji. That's why I've said division iko kwenye timu. Watu wetu wenyewe tulikufa nao, jamaa aliwachuja wakaenda. Ameleta hawa bara kwenye timu. Maybe wanataka kujifanya wanajua boli kutushinda. That is where the division is. Na kata ila ta survive this season ishe. Itakuwa ni news.
Waiga unaelewa watu wa Pwani na watu wa bara?
Nimeelewa kidogo. But I understand that there are issues in that team, and I hope
about bara and Pwani.
And I hope that between the city and closer to the sea, and I know that I'll try and be as general as possible, but I hope the administration are listening to this, and the sponsors as well, because they need to rein in that issue. If they don't fix that, then Bandari, who many had seen as a potential Leicester this season, might be nothing less than just the Bandari we've seen in previous season, which starts well but ends up finishing closer to the bottom as the season ends. Well, even as we wind up, we like to wind up on a happy note, and these are some of the videos that were posted on social media over the weekend that were rather interesting. Let's take a look at the first one. Well, those are Bayern Munich players. You saw them celebrating on the field. This is them in the locker room. That's a version of the running man. I hope we can hear that just a bit louder. Well, you can clearly see who was the most reason there. I'll not point any fingers. Let's take a look at the second video. Also some of the interesting highlights of the weekend. Leicester City continue their celebrations in this music video, of course, made by a fan. If you can recognize Ranieri and Jamie Vardy there. Man, I'm looking for the day when we can make such videos in Kenya about teams in our very own Kenyan Premier League. Finally, this is a scene that you don't witness every other day in the second division league in Turkey, and this was actually pointed out to me by Mike Okini. Fans, after the team was relegated, decide to burn or set ablaze their own stadium. Let me say that again, their home stadium where they play their matches. They said enough is enough. We're going to renovate this on behalf of the club for free. And those are some of the scenes that you can see on your screen. This happened this past weekend.
Well, those scenes, that actually is the video before it got worse. The whole stadium was ablaze. All the seats, almost everything went up on fire. My last comment is a tweet from Mahiyeka Ian, and he says, Wega Mora, iyo club ya German huwa naita Mochelango. That is the long and short of it. He calls it Mochelango. Borussia Mönchengladbach anaita Mochelango. Ndong.
Well, Michael, of course, that's how they pronounce it in Germany, right? Well, I would like to also say Dankeschön, I believe that is thank you in German. Thank you so much for watching us this afternoon on the Monday Football Show. I'd like to say thank you to Becky Mwamburi and John Kianda from Hot 96, and also our guest DJ this afternoon, DJ Sashit. Nakushukuru sana. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We'll see you again next week, right here, same place, same time.
One live long like Queen Elizabeth, Shocky, Pandit, and la 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 la. Baby girl, me one place up a bet. Anywhere me go, the girl them a la 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 la. Just jump, 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 jump. When you hear the song, 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 song.